Hello everyone, I'm Ash and I'm known online as Frimlin. I'm doing a speed build with Sims 4 City Living. This is actually my first speed build and it's one of only few YouTube videos that I've made. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I just have some time on my hands to be able to have some fun with the game, and so I just wanted to share that with people. Also, making YouTube videos just gives me a bit of experience with making YouTube videos and understanding what people have to do to create them and upload them and maintain them, and that's interesting for me for my job. I have mostly worked as a community manager for games companies for the last, well, since 2008, so that's 8 years. Okay, there we go. My maths is still working apparently. But enough about me. How about let's talk about the build. So I wanted to make something that was small and confined, a bit like the starter homes that I have made a lot of. You can check out my profile and you'll be able to see them. They're all up for download. Some of them were quite highly rated. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, I'm just trying to let you know that there's some nice builds there if you want to check them out. I focus on making really simple designs. I know a lot of people put a lot of time into details, and I mean I put details in, but I think sometimes places could be too cluttered, and that is something I personally don't like. I like things being pretty tidy, but having a small build like a starter home, or in this case an apartment, really forces you to think about maximizing the space. What is important for the space, for the theme of this apartment or this build. And this apartment is based on being a chef, and it uses items from City Living, the base game, and the Cool Kitchen stuff pack. The reason I did that is because I really hate it if you have a build that has loads of different stuff packs in it and people download it. If they don't have the expansion packs, they won't see it exactly as you've created it. So I try to stick to, some guidelines, some restrictions to make it a better end product, basically. Hopefully it will work out. Actually, this build is kind of funny because, well, not funny, but I started it and I did quite a lot of it, and then Sims actually froze while I was alt-tabbed. It's something that happens sometimes with my computer. So I couldn't save it, and it's stupid me, I didn't save it along the way. So I had to go back and recreate it. And I actually came back, and it was actually quite easy to recreate what I had. And then I decided, screw that, I'll do something quite different, and I really changed it along the way. If you're wondering about my strange accent, it's because I'm from New Zealand, but I live in France. And I actually lived in the UK for 10 years. My mum's from England, my dad's from New Zealand, so I have quite a soft accent anyway when I left New Zealand back in 1999. But then I had 10 years in the UK to kind of soften it. But people from England will never think I'm from England because of my accent. People from New Zealand might not be sure. Europeans tend to think I am English. And actually, because my mum's from England, I have dual citizenship, so it's kind of true, but I think I still have quite a strong New Zealand accent. Well, that's what I'm told. Anyway, enough about me again, but since it's a new video, I thought I'd be introducing myself a little bit as well. So I really wanted to make this place quite luxury. I haven't set myself a restriction of budget like I would for a starter home. There is the restriction on size was good enough for me. I wanted to make it look good, so I set the budget to be whatever I could fit into this tiny restricted space. In this bedroom, you can probably see, if you don't know already, there's a plaque in the corner of the room, and you can't actually move it. That's part of the lot traits, and that lot trait can't even be removed. But I don't think it's a big problem. And I was going to stick a walk-in cupboard there, but then I realized since I'm restricting it to City Living, base game, and Cool Kitchen stuff, I couldn't actually use the cupboard. Damn. So this apartment is based around a chef who's starting out in the culinary career, maybe has a small family, is doing quite well in their career because they can afford this exorbitant rent. But basically the place is centered around the kitchen, and I didn't go for a homely build, I went for a modern, luxury, high-end look. Just because you've got so many nice pieces of furniture that look really good in the game, and lots of nice artwork, and you know, if I had a lot more money than I actually have, I would probably make a place like this. Well, if I had a lot of money, I probably would make a tiny apartment. After living in Versailles, next to Paris, for the last 8 years, I've had apartments as small as 23 square meters, which, if you know meters, you'll know that's quite small. Actually, all the stuff I'm doing in this bedroom right now, I don't save it. The bed stays, but nothing else stays. Well, of course, the plaque stays, the painting stays. And you also might be wondering, hey, why hasn't he put up some wallpaper and some carpet? The reason why I didn't do that is because I decided that putting the carpet and the wallpaper in gives such a nice finishing look that it really should wait till the end. So although it's nice to put the details in at the end, I didn't want to have the full atmosphere exposed, you know, to you before I was done with decorating it, because I already had it in mind what I was going to do. So in this room, I think only a couple of the things that are in there right now actually make it to the end. The bed stays, the bedside table stays, the mirror stays because I love that mirror. Love that ottoman. I could just imagine sitting there quietly reading, looking out the window maybe, if you don't have obnoxious neighbours looking back at you. I really wanted this to be, you know, quiet retreat. I just imagine coming back home from work, as you do, very stressed, very tired. You just want to have a nice sleep, but you're into cooking, so cooking books, some of the books from City Living, which I then delete, some bath lotions and things. It's just like, bath what? And then in the kids room, the tiny restricted kids room, I always love in kids rooms trying to see how many cool items you can get in there, and I probably could have gotten more in here, and this layout doesn't stay, but I managed to fit a few things in, like a painting activity table, a place to do, a desk, sorry, to do your homework on, a teddy bear to hug and make you feel less lonely, and a little bit of clutter, because that's appropriate for a child. I mean, if it's too tidy, it probably won't look right, and it just looks good to me as well. So that's more of the final layout there, and there's a couple of other items coming in there as well. Really tried to get the toys, well, I didn't try very hard, but I tried to get a toy box in there, but it just wasn't fitting, and I didn't want it to be too crammed. Love the bear being a bit more exposed there. Look at that little ladybird, isn't it cute? You must be wondering why I'm not using Move Objects cheat to have better placement of items, and the reason is because I find it a little fiddly, and I also had some problems very early on when the game first came out and I was sharing items, I mean lots on the gallery. Some of the stuff that I added in Move Objects mode didn't actually stay in the final version, and I just got annoyed with Move Objects, so I have basically come to a point where I don't use it. 99% of my builds don't use it. Some of them do, but basically I try and make things work without using that cheat, because I just want it to be exactly as I've made it when people download it. I don't want there to be problems. I realize people can use Move Objects without problems. and you can get more skilled at it and more experienced with it, but I'm not at that point, and I don't seem to be particularly keen on getting to that point. I mean, I haven't hit a point where I thought, oh no, I can't do what I want to do without using the cheat. But in the rare times that I do, I will use it, and I will just put a little note in my description to say that I used it, just in case people are wondering. Placed that fireplace before realizing that it's actually what's supposed to be some kind of hot coals to walk over. Well, I don't know how it works, because I don't know if that looks like you can properly walk on it. But the description was like, this is hot coals to walk on. I'm like, no, I want a fireplace. So I actually removed it and put in another one. And at the end of the video, it looks a certain way. But actually, after I finished the video, I thought, that's not going to work, because I used a fireplace that wasn't in the 3 packs that I'm using for this build. So I took it out and I replaced it with the default one, and I just had to change some of the furniture in the area a little bit, but they're pretty much as they are at the end of the video. I haven't uploaded the apartment yet, because I wanted to do an upload of the video and kind of reveal it to people that are following me on Twitter first, before I upload the room that will have the apartment in it. Because you have to now share apartments as rooms, because there isn't default support for apartments. That's just a technical restriction with the launch of City Living. I suspect in time they will unlock the ability to upload apartments. You could have a different category per apartment or something like that, since there isn't the lot size classification that other builds have. I think that could have been one of the issues. Otherwise, I can't see really why it wouldn't work. But I mean, I know the whole apartment thing is a slight kludge on a typical lot, so maybe they would have had to have done more kludgy programming to make it work. And I know that I wouldn't be very keen to do that kind of programming, so they probably avoided it. Maybe they could do it later, as I say. Love that rug. I mean, it's just not properly lit at the moment, but that is a centerpiece rug. I mean, I just love it. I'm just gushing now. Oh, look at that. The bricks from outside on the wall. I love that kind of, I was going to say industrial, but actually it's very realistic for apartments to have exposed bricks. And also some apartments with the exposed bricks, it's deliberate to look good, and that's what I've done in this case. I think it looks good. You know, I've decided as a designer that this is what looks good to me. So as you can see, the luxury is really starting to come out now that the wall coverings, I was thinking wall what? Wall coverings, it's not wallpaper. And the carpet is going down, the lighting is going in now. There's a bit of red in that room, so I'm just continuing with the red. A bit too much red on the floor, so black carpet for you. Black carpeted kids room, not sure about that, but I stuck with it anyway. Yeah, I only have a couple of minutes left to talk, because we're almost finished with the video. So I've got to think about something interesting to say now. I had a lot of difficulty with this hallway, yet really needed a hallway since there's so many rooms that come off it. So that the hallway had to stay. I didn't like the openness of that room. I mean, the main room with the kitchen and I was about to say the lounge, but I don't know what you would call that. The main room anyway. I didn't like how the main room and the hall joined and made this vast space. Well, it's not vast, but it's just so big and empty, and that's something I don't like. In some big builds, you can end up with these rooms that have a whole lot of wasted space. I mean, it's not wasted because people have to walk through it, but just in kind of a visual sense, and my eye kind of complains at me. It says, no, I don't like that space. So I mean, I do close it up, basically, as you'll see soon, and I add an archway and some other stuff, but I don't want to tell you yet. So here's the archway coming in. Looking good. It gives me a bit more space in that lounge room area. The door colours, I didn't like how they were changing based on the lighting, and I didn't want to have to fiddle around with the lighting too much. Tried taking out the doors, tried different doors. Maybe I could get some that were more black, yet still fit in only one square. Apparently I can't. There's some brown ones, stuck those in, they work for now. Doing the bathroom now, using textures from City Living. Basically, I know there's lots of other ones, probably ones that would have looked better, moving the bath around there. But I just decided I wanted to focus on using City Living stuff in particular. Otherwise, it doesn't really look that much different, perhaps, from something else, from another pack. What was I thinking? Changing that rug. Anyway, it's gone back to black. You can always be safe with black, right? Reminds me of being a slightly gothic teenager. Still haven't realised that I've got the wrong fireplace there yet, apparently. Look at the lighting on that. I wouldn't say it's a painting, it's like is it a panelling? Or panel? I don't know. But that piece of artwork, I love the lighting on it. I love it sitting there above the fireplace. And of course you have to have a computer, I realised. You don't have to have a computer, it's just I really wanted a computer because I hate it if you don't have a computer for your Sims, especially when you're starting out, because so many of the jobs require you doing interactions on the computer. So computer was a must-have for me, and of course I made it red to match the very slight red look in the room. So this, you think, is the fireplace I'm going to stick with, but actually after I save it, I realise that this is from a stuff pack. I've forgotten which one. Well, this is going really fast, but this is because I'm adding in details, just tiny little details. Really tried to get a rubbish bin next to the fireplace. Couldn't do it. There's one in the bathroom anyway, so I left it. But I actually stuck in one later. You might just see there. I've stuck in a hidden door for the kids' room. The hidden door adds a bit of detail into that hallway. It's a bit of mystery. It's a bit of fun for the kids. And it kind of hides the kids' room. That room is still pretty basic. It's not quite the right rug there, Ash. I like it in the corner, but I think it would be better centered. Center it. It's either too small or too big. No, it's fine like that. You can still see the exposed wooden floor, which looks good. Nice lighting. Was going to leave it nice and dark, but then I thought needs a bit of lighting. Oh look, I made it dark again. But I actually go back in and make it lighter later. So we're coming to the end of the build now. I will have this on the gallery soon. Probably by the time you're watching this video, it will already be there. I'll stick some screenshots up at the end so you can see how it looks when it's finished. Thank you very much for listening in. Once again, I'm sorry about the quality, including the sound apparently. Just heard some of it. I will work on making it better. I will keep working on it. Hopefully it's not too irritating and you could just look at the build for what it is. Here's some screenshots. There's the loungy area. The bathroom looks like she's having a pee. She's not. Here's the kids' room. And the adult bedroom. The star of the show, the kitchen. And a view from above so you can see the layout. Anyway, thank you and goodbye. Have a good day.